Sox in this Sunday afternoon matinee. And Java Chamberlain will get the start. Let's take a look at how his starts have broken down this year. In April, 4 starts, 23 innings. In May, 22 1/3 innings. June was his biggest workload, 35 2/3. July, 29 2/3, and so far in August, 20 innings, 130 and 2/3 innings combined. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Yankees baseball. That's Al Leiter. I'm Michael Kay. So Java Chamberlain has a new set of rules, and I'm going to give him a lot of time between starts to lower his innings. What they're going to do is have him start every 5 days in a normal rotation, and then they'll keep the innings short. Your thoughts on this?
I like the idea that he has the ability to get consistent work. In order for pitchers to have consistent release point, do the things as a pitcher's supposed to do to make good pitches, you have to have a consistent routine in between. As to how many innings he gets, I think the luxury here for the Yankees, with the big lead they have over the Red Sox, and also with the September call-ups with more arms to be able to help, the Yankees have the luxury to be able to do this.
Very quickly, though, if he knows he's going to have 3 innings that he's going to work in a game, is he going to come out with the mindset of a reliever and throw harder?
You know, it'll be fun to watch, Michael. I think maybe that could be the mindset. Obviously, he's the only one, along with Joe Girardi and Dave Island, as to how many innings he's going to throw. It'll be fun to watch as to whether he does throw like a reliever.
We'll start watching in a moment. Lineups, first pitch baseball coming up next right here on Yes. Honda clearances here, but it ends soon. Hurry into your Honda dealer today. By Geico, 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Turkey Hill, the official ice cream of the New York Yankees. The place looks great. It's a gorgeous day after a couple of days of rain here in New York. It's actually a little hot today, but hey, it's a baseball game at the end of August. What do you expect? Full house, close to a full house, filing into Yankee Stadium. The Yankees have taken the field. Java Chamberlain is taking his warm-up tosses, and we're going to take a look at the White Sox starting lineup as put together by manager Ozzie Guillen. Scott Pasednik's in center field leading off. Gordon Beckham at third base will bat second. A.J. Brzezinski catches and he'll hit third. Cleaning up playing left field, Carlos Quinton. Jim Thome, the DH, will bat fifth. 26 homers in 119 games lifetime against the Yanks. Jermaine Dyes in right field. He'll bat sixth, batting seventh, playing first base. Martin Kotze to keep the right-hander Konerko out against Chamberlain. Alexei Ramirez, the shortstop, will bat eighth, and batting ninth and playing second base is Jason Nix.
On the mound for the Yankees, Java Chamberlain, 23-year-old, be making his 25th start. 130 2/3 innings. Hits the ratio about 1-to-1, not bad. 114 strikeouts. Let's take a look at the G pitcher scout report. Innings, well, we've talked about it. How many innings will he go today, and how will it all play out? Well, only he, along with the coaching staff, knows that. Consistent work. In the second half, in his first 3 starts, he was 3-0 with a .83. In his last 4 starts, 1-2 with an .855. And in the pinstripes, home here at Yankee Stadium, a 5.35 ERA, and on the road, 3.15.
Well, we'll see how long Java Chamberlain will go. If you map it out and you take him out to about 150, 155 innings, he's not going to have very long outings in these starts. So Chamberlain deals, and there's the strike, and we are underway. Pasednik, 1 hit in his last 10 at-bats, although having a good season for the White Sox, an igniter for them. That one is chopped and fair past Mark Teixeira down the right field line. Pasednik rounds first. He's going to second. Taking a while for Hinsky to dig it out of the corner. Pasednik's going for 3. The throw, not in time. It's a game-opening triple by Scott Pasednik.
Well, you mentioned about Scott Pasednik being an igniter. he has been that, brought some speed element. Because of that speed, you see Teixeira in tight, honoring the fact that he may bunt, that lessening his angle. Maybe he had a better shot at it. Looked like Hinske got a pretty good carry on it. It was just right out of the box. This is where a fast runner and a guy like Scott Pasednik just said, this is a triple written all over it. Watch his hustle out of the box. And as soon as he sees that down the line, right about here, he's putting it down, saying, I'm not picking him up. He doesn't even pick up the third base coach there. All the way, he's saying this is a triple. It's his 5th triple of the year for Scott Pasednik.
Here's Gordon Beckham, and the pitch is inside 1-0. So a game-opening triple for Pasednik, and he's 90 feet away from giving the White Sox an early lead. Beckham 1 hit in his last 14 at-bats, 3 for his last 25. Yankees have the infield back. They'll give up a run, and that's exactly what they do. A ground ball to Jeter. He goes to first. Scoring is Pasednik, and the Sox have a run. Well, we've already seen a couple of them. Let's take a look at the entire Yankee defensive schematic. Damon, Cabrera, Hinske left to right in the outfield. Infield, Rodriguez, Jeter, Cano, and Teixeira, third to first. Posada making his first start since Wednesday. His finger on his left hand has been bothering him, and Java Chamberlain on the mound. And it's the ring finger on his left hand that's been bent back because of foul tips. Brzezinski shows bunt, takes pitch low, 1-0.
Well, we saw yesterday during the game, Posada in between innings was catching warm-ups to see how it felt. Obviously, it felt good enough for him to start today.
And here's how the injury kind of got worse. It's been bothering him for a while. They thought they got it out of him, but that foul tip right there bent the finger back, and he was in a lot of pain. High fly ball. Johnny Damon will battle the sun. Right into his glove for this second out. Let's look at the game time weather conditions presented by our good friends at Bigelow Tea. 73 degrees, humidity 78%, almost no wind, and it is a pleasant sunny day. Don't you feel pleasant out?
It's so pleasant. Today, getting up, the gloom in the last 2 days with no sun, what a beautiful day.
You look pleasant today.
So do you. Thank you.
Thanks.
It's a pleasant moment.
Here's Carlos Quentin. And the pitch. Foul back.
You mentioned about, we talked about the open. Will Java Chamberlain pitch or have the mindset as a reliever per se when he knows that he's limited the amount of innings? Obviously, his pitch count won't be very high, assuming he gets quick outs. How will this affect his approach and how he empties the tank?
Popped up. Shallow right. Coming on Hinske. And he'll make the play for the final out of the first. Just 9 pitches for Java, but he gives up a run. 1 run on 1 hit. Nobody left. White Sox won. Yankees coming to bat. They'll face the captain, the shortstop, Derek Jeter leads off. Then it's Johnny Damon in left, Mark Teixeira at first. Alex Rodriguez rides an 8-game hitting streak into this one. He'll clean up and play third. Then you've got Matsui at DH. Posada will catch. Cano at second. Pinsky in right. And Melky Cabrera plays center and bats ninth.
Veteran Freddie Garcia, 32-year-old. He's been injured. This will be his third start since coming up in the minor leagues for the Chicago White Sox. Not very good ERA. 6.75. Let's take a look at the G pitcher scatter report. Finding a home. Here he is back where he pitched a couple of years ago.
Jeter rips one into right center field, giving Chase his dive. On the run, it's off the wall. Jeter's going for two, and he's got a leadoff double. His hot streak continues. Missed a home run by a little bit.
Well, I don't think a player could get any more locked in than Derek Jeter. This is his patented swing. He gets the fastball up out over a plate. He's jumping on a pitch early here from Freddie Garcia, trying to get ahead. And as Michael said, that was a foot or two away from getting out of here. Let's see how close this misses. Almost misses that guy's glove. How hot and consistent has Derek Jeter been all year?
He's hitting .368 in the first inning now. Good way to start off the game. Here's Johnny Damon. And there's a strike.
There's that scatter report. Watch A-Rod. A-Rod's got 5 home runs off him. This would be interesting to see that matchup. He's owned him in his career. And no grannies. Most innings of any major league pitcher has never allowed a grand slam.
That one's drilled down the right field line. It is a foul ball.
I should say an active major league pitcher, over 1,700 innings.
IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV, the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball on Yes. It goes right in the bag. Safekeeping. Freddie Garcia had shoulder surgery, and we always talk about this. I don't think that organizations get nervous when they hear Tommy John surgery. They know they're going to lose a player for a year, but they think they're going to get that player back, maybe even better than he was. Shoulder surgery, still to this day, all the modern medicine is still an inexact science. They just don't know when you're going to come back, if you'll come back, how you'll come back. And you had a couple of them, Al. It's not an easy surgery, and that's what Garcia's come. He used to be nasty. It's not close to that anymore.
Oh, with Seattle, yeah. You talk about nasty sinker. You're right. Looked like Molino just got hit with a foul ball there. And because of that, you're right. The shoulder being different, obviously, with a lot of different muscles that can go wrong. Had surgery a couple years ago with the Phillies. He's actually traded for Gavin Floyd from the White Sox to the Phillies. And now here he is back. He was in the minor leagues, went to spring training with the Mets, got released, and now pitched much of the year in the minor leagues. And here he's back in the big leagues.
Slow dribbler up the first baseline. That's going to get Jeter over. And they just made the play despite the bobble by Garcia.
Well, he gets a little chopper here. Pretty good Garcia. You want to make sure as a pitcher you get under control. He doesn't have a grip on it. Marcotte gets a quick little catch he's got to make. See at the very end there. That's a tough play for Marcotte. Short distance. See the way Freddie ends up throwing a little bit of a dart down. Not a whole lot of reaction time there.
How about this? White Sox bring the infield in. First inning. And the pitch to Teixeira.
Well, it says a lot about how Ozzie Guillen feels about their offense of late. Have been having a tough time scoring. Yesterday, not scoring any. Sergio Mitre, 1 hit through 6 in the 3rd inning.
Fly ball, right field, deep, dive back, track, wall. He makes the play. Tagging is Jeter. He'll score easily. The game is tied at 1 as Teixeira picks up his 98th run batted in.
Tech's getting his changeup. He's out in front, but strong enough to be able to get it certainly far enough for Derek Jeter to score. Almost hitting the ball out of here. You see Jermaine Dye just drifting. Catching that ball right up against the wall.
Here's Alex Rodriguez. Watching batting practice today, Rodriguez was just hitting bombs all over the ballpark, going out everywhere. Right center, left center, into the bleachers. I don't know how much you carry BP into a game. There's a strike. But Al did mention he has 5 home runs lifetime against Garcia.
Well, you know, it all really been enough Yankee fans watch what he was doing as we were watching him. Really had a right center field approach, and I think that, you know, for Alex, like many hitters, when they feel right, that's their swing they want to get back to. It allows them to track the ball and see the ball further, and in doing so, that's their swing to basically center, right center for right-handed hitter.
Alex Rodriguez put the capper on the Yankee game yesterday against Tony Pena. The only home run in the game for the Yankees, gave them their 10th run, and for Alex, his 23rd home run and 70th ribby. Those are the numbers lifetime against Garcia, the 2-2. There's a base hit for Rodriguez, takes it right up the middle. That'll get him over 270 for the season and gives him a 9-game hitting streak.
Just nice and relaxed. You just see the way he looks comfortable talking about his batting practice, not trying to do a whole lot. Even though that pitch looked like about middle of the plate slider, but he didn't try to do a whole lot, meaning pull off the baseball. That was just a nice approach, up the middle, hard line drive. Good at bat.
That'll bring up Hideki Matsui. Now standing next to Girardi when A-Rod was taking BP, and I turned to him, I said, wow, the ball just sounds different coming off his bat. He said, there's another guy that has that same sound on his team. I said, who do you think he said?
Kano.
Matsui. He said, it makes unbelievable sound coming off his bat, especially this month.
You know, it's true. You could sit around Major League batting practice and you'll hear the sound. You could tell the guys that just have that little extra pop off the bat.
A-Rod was going. Now he gets hung up and gets picked off. He drifted way too far off first, and then Przinsky saw him and made the throw to Katse to pick him off. So that scored a 2-3 to end the inning. You see, A-Rod thought better of it, and Przinsky got him leaning. Yankees 1 run, 2 hits, no errors because of the pickoff. Nobody left. 1-1 game. Three-game set in Baltimore against the Orioles. Andy Pettit against Jeremy Guthrie. Our coverage is going to begin at 6:30 with the pregame show. And then first pitch will be right around 7:08. Here's Jim Tomei. Java Chamberlain in his second inning of work. High pop-up. Posada tosses away the mask. One away.
As Michael said, the mask, the catchers will hold the mask long enough to track it the way you just saw there with Posada. They make sure that mask is far enough away. Fighting the sun directly behind home plate here at Yankee Stadium.
Al, do you think these new Java rules will work? Do you think it's better for him?
That he's getting the consistent work? Yes, I do.
How about the truncated work, though, where, 2, 3 innings and 4? I mean, these starting pitchers, they make their money by getting wins. He's going to be able to get wins.
Well, and it goes back to this, Michael, that it's in the best interest of this young man who they feel.
That one's driven out to right center field. Eric Hinsky on the run, and he makes the play.
To protect his arm, and I know enough has been said about it, but I know I wouldn't have liked the fact that I'm going to pitch 6 days, 7 days, 8 days. Nice play right here by Eric Hinsky. This ball was a line drive right center on his full speed on his horse here. Tracks it right there. He's got it in sight. Good play. I just think starting pitchers, it's important that they stay on their routine. And it's not a matter of once in a while during the season a guy will get an extra day because of a rain out or something like that. It was different. They were altering it based on trying to keep those innings in that 150 range. He had he's at 130 now. He had 100 pitches last year, or 100 innings, and the number, I guess, was around 150.
Right.
Ish.
Give or take, yeah. And they have said that the meter starts all over again if the Yankees make the playoffs. So if he's at his innings limit for the season, then they will go above that according to how many starts he makes in the postseason. As Joe Girardi said about a month ago, all hands on deck at that point. Well, Java Chamberlain has now worked 2 innings and thrown 16 pitches. So what does that mean? So if he was scheduled to pitch 3 innings, is it now 4? It's so inexact, it's hard to figure out. That was a 6-pitch inning. Go to the bottom of the second. Children now and for years to come against serious and sometimes life-threatening diseases such as tetanus, diphtheria, whooping cough, and hepatitis. Join the New York Yankees and Lincoln Hospital to strike out childhood diseases. Get your child vaccinated on Thursday, September 3rd, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Yankee Stadium's Banquet and Conference Center. Please enter at Gate 6 and call 718-579-5777 for more information. 1-1 game. 0-1 count on Matsui. There's a strike. Now I have a bit of a conundrum, Al. I know you'll help me out. I said that he had retired 2 innings of White Sox in 16 pitches. It's actually 15. He averages 17.3 pitches per inning as Matsui goes down on strikers. And we're talking about Java. So let's say in the 3rd inning, let's say he's scheduled to work 3 innings today. We're not sure how much, but it's probably 3 or 4. He's scheduled to work 3 innings. Let's say he gets the White Sox out on 8 pitches in the next inning. She's got 23 pitches over 3 innings. Is it still 3 innings? Because we've seen Java throw 30-pitch innings. So what's an inning? Well, I don't get it.
Well, you make a good point. It's hard to answer that, especially in a day and era in baseball where pitch counts really matter. You know, you go by the pitch count. You make a good point. He's averaging over 17 pitches an inning. So if you're basing it, the only argument, the only way you would say is that the up and down aspect of it. Now the rest, and you get up and then you go warm up the next inning. But if it is a matter of pitch count, conceivably he'll throw 3 innings and have the pitch count of an inning and a third. Assuming, you know, we'll see how the next inning goes.
You know, Joe Girardi was asked about the pitches that he throws in comparison to the innings that he throws. He says, we know how many pitches he's thrown for the year. He said, and that is taken into consideration. But boy, it becomes complicated. It's worse than the Pythagorean theorem.
Pythagorean theorem.
The 2-1. There's a strike. They didn't teach that one in South Shore. What was the name of the high school?
Central Regional.
Or Central Regional.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, a little trigonometry. Well, but they're here. This is where, and it's about within this organization, they're protecting this pitcher's arm, and in doing so they felt that this was the right thing to do, and it's along with trainers and doctors and different people doing analysis saying that if you have a workload greater than X, there could be a greater propensity for injury, and they've stuck with it. I mean, you say that much about the Yankees. They haven't deviated. They're not afraid to, you know, obviously it's out there because we're talking about it. I think of other young pitchers. I know with the Tigers, a local kid here, Rick Porcello, they're doing the same thing for him because he didn't pitch a whole lot in the minor leagues either.
So Posada works a walk. Robinson Cano, this series 4 for 10. Ended Friday's game with a walk-off 3-run home run. Yankees are elated that they got all 3 of these games in, because at the beginning of the week with the weather report, Friday and Saturday were highly doubtful. Most of Friday's game was played in some form of rain, and for the most part yesterday there was very little rain at all, so they did get both games in, and today is a beautiful day.
And at this time of the year, even though it's September, Michael, you're right. I know sitting down there, and I was talking to some of the White Sox folks, it sounded like they were trying to figure out common off days. Nobody at this time of the year wants to like fly in for that one game that you have to make up somewhere.
And then, you know, you also have to factor in, let's say if Friday's game was rained out or Saturday's game was rained out. Well, the White Sox don't come back into town. And the Yankees have the highest average attendance of any team in baseball, so you don't want to have a regular doubleheader and lose a gate. So you can't really have a day-night doubleheader on Sunday. That one's grounded to first. There's one, and theirs too because of the Sunday night exclusivity of ESPN. So there's a lot of things that go into it. As Cano bangs into a 3-6-3 double play turned nicely by the White Sox. No runs, no hits, no errors, and because of the DP, nobody left on. Radio Shack, what do you know?
Really?
That's right. They call it the Shack. In 1942, 41-year-old White Sox pitcher Ted Lyons made 20 starts and had 20 complete games, somewhat reminiscent of your last couple of years, including 3 extra inning games. He also led the league with a 2.10 ERA. That's when pitchers were pitchers, Al.
Yeah. Wimps. Yeah.
What do you know? Here's Alexei Ramirez. And there's a base hit up the middle. It's a 1-1 game on the Modell's scoreboard. And Modell's is the official sporting goods retailer of the New York Yankees. Each team with now 2 hits.
Boy, the White Sox just reeling here. They knew that this road trip was going to be a big one, maybe a make or break for their season. Got to Boston, lost 3 of 4 now here at the stadium. Go up to Minnesota, which has been a terrible place for the White Sox in recent years.
Runner goes. Go to second. Not in time. Stolen base for Ramirez.
See the jump. Pretty good jump. Jabba Chamberlain with the big leg kick. Ramirez, one of their speedier runners, which this team has not been known for that, which is part of their problem.
That one's bunted foul. Now, White Sox lost yesterday 10-1. They actually made more errors than they had hits in the game. They had 3 errors and just 1 hit. And Ozzie Guillen, after the game, was chapped. He was not happy at all in his colorful language. He berated the team, berated himself. And they're just not playing up to their capability, and the American League Central is slipping away from them.
Yeah, as tight as the AL Central. Well,
there's his quote, "I'm embarrassed. I think that everyone in that locker room should be embarrassed. You have to start second-guessing yourself when you go out and have more errors than hits in a game." we're better than this. Right now, it feels like we're stealing money from owner Jerry Reinsdorf. I'm stealing money from Jerry. The mountains only get higher every night.
Well, there's no question about Ozzie Guillen is a guy, like I said about colorful. He speaks his mind often, sometimes making the general manager and organization kind of have to apologize for some of the things he says, but he's kind of colorful and up front. And he played that way, he coached that way. A lot of energy, fun guy.
Served into right field. It's a base hit. Ramirez held up, so he's only going to advance to third. A base hit for Nix. First and third, nobody out.
Well, that was Nix, the first batter that has seen more than 3 pitches. This is good hitting right there. Nix going down and driving that ball. It looked like a little slider or something off speed down the way. Get that ball back in there. Watch Ramirez's angle. At his angle there, he wasn't able to actually see whether it was going to be far enough for Pinsky to field it. Obviously, he wasn't able to. Nobody out. You want to be a little more conservative. Sacrifice fly, enable you to score.
There's Pasednik, who tripled to open up the game and came around to score on a ground ball. Yankees will take the double play here, and they'll give up the run.
Just shows you the difference in where the mindset of each respective manager. Ozzie Guillen had the infield in, not having a whole lot of faith in their offense, whereas Joe Girardi, the way the Yankees have been banging around some runs, giving up the runner.
There's a strike.
Which early in the game, you know, any team that has certainly not even close to what the Yankees put out offensively, you would absolutely go for a double play ball and give up your run at third.
On a somewhat hot and humid day, Jabba electing to go with the long sleeve shirt. Also has the pants hiked up high, showing a lot of sock.
You know, they have the shirts now, not like the old wool, obviously, but there's shirts, even though it's long sleeve, Michael, that are the cool dry fit stuff. That's not. It actually helps with sweat, and some of these shirts are actually cool.
Can we get dress shirts made of that stuff?
That would be nice, wouldn't it? They should come up with that.
Why don't we start that?
I think it's dry fit, right? Dry fit, cool fit. That's the name of it.
I'll go with it. The 1-1. Now 2-1.
Pasednik is 2-1. That ball was close pitch on the outside corner. Tim Timmons, home plate umpire. A lot of times pitchers will find out where the home plate umpire strike zone is early in the game. Nice change up here from Jabba Chamberlain. Just the bottom drops out of this, almost like a split finger kind of effect coming out of his hand. Nice pitch.
Two. Right back up the middle and a base hit. Ramirez scores. Nix is going to stop right there at second. It's an RBI single for Pasednik. The ball gets away from Cano. He fires to third, and they get the advancing Nix. Heads up play by Cano to get the first out of the inning, but the White Sox take a 2-1 lead.
Well, as the White Sox, that's a break for the Yankees. A little base hit up the middle. You see Jabba Chamberlain trying to get a little kick save. Not able to. The throw coming in to Robinson Cano. Nice little casual, normally aggressive turn here. And Melky trying to see it as aggressive as he was. The ball didn't kick away, and Jason Nix choosing to go right away. Not very smart. Melky seeing that little window open between the runner and Cano. Good throw here from Robbie.
Really good throw. Throwing off balance and kind of falling down. It's a single, an RBI, and Nix is out, advancing to third, 4-5. So Java gets a gift out, and that could help him out this inning. And here is Beckham, who picked up an RBI in the first on a ground ball. Hey fans, it's time for the Toyota Text Poll. Today's question is, who do you think will win the American League Rookie of the Year? Choices are Elvis Andrus of Texas, Andrew Bailey of Oakland, Gordon Beckham of the White Sox, Nolan Reimold of the Orioles, and Ricky Romero of the Blue Jays. You can text your vote to 58772. Standard text message and rates apply. What do you think of this, Al?
Jeff Neiman.
We didn't have that on the text.
I like this kid here, Gordon Beckham, but he's fallen off. But he's still leading in several categories for AL rookies. I'll take Gordon Beckham.
3 for his last 26. Swing and miss. I was really impressed with Andrus' defense when the Rangers were just in town. He can really pick it.
And what a difference. We talk about it often, but you get a good pitching staff. It goes coincide with your defense. And when the Rangers decided to move Michael Young to third base, some eyebrows were kind of curious as to that move. But boy, that you're right. You talk about a slick fiddle shortstop. Gordon Beckham, he was a #1 pick last year by the White Sox at the University of Georgia, who was a shortstop, and they see him as their future third baseman. They think he's going to fill out, he's going to get stronger, be a 20-25 home run guy.
Runner goes, pitch out, throw to second, not in time. Besednik got a good jump, and really Java is not that fast to the plate, so you can get a good jump.
Well, you said it, and you see how runnerish, if Besednik, he looked like he was going for sure, and it was a big lead. Even though it's a pitch out, you gotta give time for Posada, the IO TV super shot. Just getting in there.
Count 3-2. And this is from the DirecTV blimp. This is how it looked from on top.
Cool shot.
Chop toward first. Teixeira steps on the bag for the second out. Besednik advances to third. Boy, what a great shot. And aerial coverage brought to you by DirecTV. Get every MLB game in HD this season with DirecTV. Line drive and foul. Did you realize, Al, that our producer, Kevin Small, is DirecTV's biggest customer? I think he's got like 16 receivers in his house. He's damaged, but I mean, he has 16 different receivers in his house. He has first name basis with all the people there, direct number. It's great. He could call DirecTV directly.
16?
16 bathrooms, stairwells. It's amazing. Got a little tiny one in the mailbox. He never misses a moment of any sporting event.
From every room to every hall, he could watch his show.
Now, you think I'm kidding? He is arguably probably one of their best customers. I mean, imagine that, 16 receivers. I mean, even the Jets and the Giants don't have 16 receivers. White Sox lead 2-1. Runner on third. 2 outs. Strike 3. Brzezinski down looking. He is not enamored with the call, but the White Sox take the lead. 1 run on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 man left. They get a nice call on the outside corner. We go to the bottom of the third. The official sporting goods retailer of the Yankees. Action in the Yankee bullpen. So it looks as if Jabba's outing could be a 3-inning outing today as Alfredo Aceves begins to throw. Fouled away. I was thinking, Al, Jabba Chamberlain, and the Yankees are doing it for his benefit. But he probably can't wait till next year when all of this stuff is over, the shackles are off, and he's just a pitcher.
Yes.
Instead of counting innings, pitches, and worrying about every single thing, I mean, that's got to be in the back of his mind no matter how much he says it's not. And next year, he becomes a full-fledged pitcher if he gets up to about 150 innings this year. 1 away.
Which is the very reason why I think whether 3 innings to start. I mean, that's not what the starting pitcher tries to do. That the number usually nowadays we just saw usually game it's a thing of the past, but you try to go your 7, 8 if you could, if you occasionally get a complete game. But if it's a matter of him getting, as you just said, you're right, it's got to be exhausting. And to his credit, he hasn't said anything off color to incite this even more than what's already been discussed and talked about in regards to Tatum. Because it would be easy. I mean, he's a young kid to just, say some things that, would just fuel the fire. And, it's saying the right things, and I'm sure it's frustrating for him. You're a baseball player, you're a pitcher, you played since you were a little kid, you want to pitch.
And when you looked, when he was pitching every 5 days coming out of the break, he was one of the best pitchers in the game. He was 3-0 with a 0.83. Then they started with a longer rest and skipping a start here and there. And again, they're doing that for his own good, but it threw him off. Swing and a miss by Melky Cabrera as Brzezinski throws to Kotze. So it's a strikeout, put out 2-3. 2 away. That's going to bring up Derek Jeter, who doubled in the first inning and scored the Yankees run. Derek now 12 hits away from tying Lou Gehrig for the most hits in franchise history. The Iron Horse 2,721 hits and Derek 2,709. And now he's 11 hits away. He's like the old top 40 stations. The hits just keep on coming.
Well, we said it in his first at bat. This little hanging slider was able to pull this one. The first pitch was a fastball, middle of the plate. Can't say enough about how locked in Derek Jeter has been. A lot of fun to watch for a Yankee fan.
Here's Johnny Damon. Well, if Derek continues to swing the bat and remains this hot, then the one drawback for him is he will break Lou Gehrig's record on the road. Could be in Toronto. That one's drilled deep to right field. Dye looking up. See ya! 2-run home run, Johnny Damon. He ties his career high with 24 in a season, and the Yankees lead 3-2.
Talking about the year that Derek Jeter's having, well, Johnny Damon, you got to include him in this. That maybe a career year for him as well. Just a little changeup out in front, hitting off his front foot as he does so often. Boy, that second deck. 24 home runs. What a year so far for Johnny Damon.
1-0 to Teixeira.
Out in front, gets the little off-speed pitch down in the zone. Nice.
What Johnny discovered right away, Al, in this ballpark, the way right field plays, off speed, he's trying to hook it into the seats. Fastball, he's taking to left field, and it's worked for him. He's hitting over 290, career high 24 home runs. High fly ball, right field. Jermaine Dye on the warning track will put it away for the final out of the third. But the Yankees take the lead. They scored 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors. Nobody left. The big blow off the bat of Johnny Damon into Damon's deck. Now has 24 homers and 73 runs batted in, and the Yankees have a 3-2 lead. Nick Swisher is one of 3 players with a 20-homer season for both the Yankees and the White Sox. Who are the other 2? We'll find that out in the bottom of the 4th inning. While Jabba Chamberlain, his innings limit today was 3. He's out of the ball game as Joe Girardi makes the call to the bullpen. Brought to you by AT&T. Your world delivered. And that will bring on Alfredo Aceves. 8-1. He has the most victories of any reliever in baseball, and he could pick up a win here. Yankees lead 3-2. Carlos Quinton will lead off. Dribbled slowly toward A-Rod. 1 out.
And for Aceves, knowing what the innings were going to be, obviously it wasn't about a pitch count with Jabba Chamberlain. He was able to adjust accordingly and prepare almost like a start. I mean, similar to like a spring training game where you say, okay, he's got 3, you get, well, obviously he won't have that, but you know when you'll be getting in as far as your routine of stretching, etc.
You know why I don't like that though, Al? If you're going to use Aceves as the personal caddy for Jabba, then it takes him out of play in other games, and he's so important. I mean, I hope that they switch pitchers around. That it's not always Aceves. There's a ground ball, a short right field. And Cano throws out Tomei. Because one of the low points of the Yankee season was when they went into Anaheim and got swept by the Angels. I think one of the reasons for that is they had to make an emergency start. They had to be Aceves, and they didn't have him available in those 3 games in Anaheim. And I think that he could have really helped in at least one of those games because their bullpen faltered quite a bit. That's how valuable this guy is. And I think that the emergence of Phil Hughes as a dominant 8th inning guy lessens the need to have him in that role, but you still like him in the 7th or the 6th. We'll see how many innings he gives them now.
And with the mix and match, trying to get Brian Bruni consistent. He's another middle late guy. I don't. Well, obviously we don't know, but I don't see him being as the caddy to Jabba's starts by any means. Chad Godin yesterday, who would be a long man kind of role since coming over from the Padres, who started 18 and 19 games there. He pitched 3 innings. He would be a guy in the mix. Certainly David Robertson. And again, you have September call-ups. Who they're going to call up. Scott report for Jermaine Dye. Well, boy, they do need his bat for this team to make a push against the Detroit Tigers. He has struggled since the All-Star break. Right center field, he's got kind of that A-Rod approach to right center field when hitting well. And what a solid career. Just done it quietly. Came up with the Braves. He's got over 300 home runs, 322 lifetime career, 1,062 RBIs. Compares in a lot of ways to like a Joe Carter, MVP of the 2005 World Series. Done it very quietly in Chicago and Atlanta.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the aforementioned New York Yankees. Here's the payoff. Swung on and missed. An impressive 4th inning for Alfredo Aceves. He did it in 9 pitches. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Yankees lead the White Sox 3-2. You're watching Yes.
Shocker.
Nick Swisher is one of 3 players with a 20-homer season for the Yankees and the White Sox. Who are the other 2, Al?
Ron Kittle and Dan Pasqua.
Let's see. Oh, you were close. He said it, though. He said it with such confidence.
Danny Pasqua never had 20 home runs.
I should have thrown an Alex Trebek at you. So sorry.
So not close. Yeah, that's what they got to let us guess on this. Realize how bad we are.
And you said it with I mean, you were so certain.
No, you know what? I thought Ron Kittle, because Kittle wasn't here very long.
Long enough to hit 20 homers in a season if he won it.
Yeah, but I think that's why he wasn't there. But Pasqua, I thought, would have been.
Count 1 and 2. Count 2 and 2. Alex extended his hitting streak to 9 straight with a single to center in the first. And the 2-2. 3 and 2. So Alex is standing by the batting cage, Al, and he cracks open an energy drink, standing about 5 feet away from him, and it sprays all over my jacket. And so Joe Girardi goes, "Oh!" And Alex was shocked and goes, "You know, that's really good luck." I said, "Really? Where'd you hear that?" He goes, "I just made it up to feel better."
Did you tell him you're going to send him the dry cleaning?
That's a black jacket. Who's going to see it? All the stains, you know, just
right.
they just
cover it up.
Yeah.
Pizza sauce and everything else.
And the 3-2. And Rodriguez works a walk. And that's going to bring up Hideki Matsui.
Well, we were talking about the job end and bullpen and all that. You're looking at the Yankees, you've covered them for years and watched them, and big broadcaster. Like, is this as good a team as you've seen in certainly some of those championship run teams? Do you look for some sort of wart or blemish?
Well, the best team that I ever saw was the '98 team. They never seemed like they were going to lose. They won 114 games, and then with the playoffs, they won 125 and lost just 50. So I don't think that this team is there, but it's close. This team really thinks every time it takes the field that it's going to win the game. And the thing that I think has been quietly improved about this team, and nobody notices it, is that they really have a good, effective bench now. Jerry Hairston Jr. was a great pickup. Molina is outstanding backup catcher. Hinsky is a power bat off the bench. And when they had Ramiro Pena up, I thought that he was a nice addition too. He gave them speed up the bench. And when Brett Gardner gets back,
was that the difference in '98? Was that when Rock Range was here and Strawberry? No, he was here before that.
No. Those guys were there, and then they also had Homer Bush that year. And every time Homer Bush came off the bench, he would steal a base. Every time. Red Sox continue to win 2-0 over the Blue Jays in the bottom of the second. That could be 2. There's 1, and Matsui reaches. The mistake that Knicks made was not throwing to first because Alex Rodriguez stopped. So he would have had the double play that way, but Alex was heading back to first. He thought the ball was going to be caught on a line.
Yes, you nailed it, Michael. Watch here what Michael's saying now. Right here, once he realized Alex is going the other way, pick your head up, see where the runner is. Obviously, by then, just the bobble, there's no way he was going to get Matsui. Not a heads-up play by Knicks. And the reason why Alex had to do what he did, because he was still not sure whether he would have been able to catch it on the liner.
Knicks and heads-up play really haven't gone together in the last couple of years.
And the Rangers were just in town.
Yeah, you tied it all together. 2 days later, he woke up. Count 2-0. Ballpark just looks great right now. You look at the grandstand and the flags representing all the teams flapping in the wind straight out. Looks like a Norman Rockwell painting. Just beautiful.
Starting to get its feel.
Mm-hmm.
The sounds and the excitement.
The 2-1. Popped up. Beckham. And the ball drops foul. That's really the shortstop's play. And Beckham was too far out there for a third baseman. Ramirez should have called him off. I think he was waiting for that, Al.
Yeah, that you're exactly right. The angle for Ramirez, he's not even really busting after it. Plenty of hang time. You go over there and help out. I don't know whether Beckham should have had it or not. That's a tough angle as you see him coming now back on the ball, overran it. But Ramirez in the first part of that replay, he was just jogging. Well, it doesn't help. They're first in the AL in errors up to this game, and third in Major Leagues, 100 errors.
That one's driven deep to right field, but foul.
You mentioned Ozzie Guillen, and frustrated. They said he had more errors than hits. You know, that's a lackadaisical play. And when you have a team like the White Sox, and they did traded for Jake Peavy, a Cy Young Award winner, they're hoping that he's going to come back and help this rotation. But this is a team that's in it. You'd think that they would be still fired up and looking for the push, but they've been flat during this series, and coming off of Boston losing 3 or 4 is not the direction they want to be going in.
Count 3-2.
Especially with the AL Central, it's always kind of a toss-up. The Tigers were miserable last year. Down here they are leading the Central 4.5 up on Minnesota. But every year, Minnesota, White Sox, and Detroit always in the play.
And Posada goes down swinging.
Well, Garcia's got this little slider. You see a late break to it. Didn't throw as hard as he once did. He was a much more of a power pitcher, but obviously so far to this point, he's selective with his pitches and moving the ball around, showing a pretty good slider. Is he there against Posada?
Here's Robinson Cano wrapped into a 3-6-3 double play in the second. And strike. Yankees win this afternoon. They go 4-2 on this homestand and right back out on the road. They had just spent 11 days on the road. And Joe Girardi was commenting today. He said, "I just got my shirts cleaned." He said, "I was packing last night." And the way the Yankees play here at home, they don't really want to go on the road. 44-20 at home, best record in baseball. They're actually not too shabby on the road at 37-28.
And then also that flipping around August trip, they went to Seattle, Oakland on a road trip. Then they have to go back to Seattle, Anaheim in the middle of September.
And Cano swings and misses. And he's arguing with the home plate umpire, Tim Timmons. And Joe Girardi will help him with the argument as the Yankees go down without a run and we go to the fifth. Well, thank you, Nancy. Here in the top of the fifth inning, it's 3-2 Yankees over the White Sox. That's Michael Cooney, our pre- and post-game director, and his wife Vivian, and their daughters Sienna and Alyssa enjoying the game.
Pink?
That Mike's wearing, yes, Mike wearing pink. You can see the two girls definitely got the looks from Vivian. Mike's not going to win any oil painting contest.
Oh, you got a lot of nerve.
Kotze pops it up. Jeter shading his eyes from the sun and puts it away for the first out. On the Lexus scoreboard, 3-4-0, leading 2-4-0. What, Al? What did I do wrong?
Have you looked in the mirror lately?
Listen, I know I'm ugly. I'm fine with that. I've accepted it, I've embraced it, and I move forward. So that means I could point out when other people are not great. I mean, Mike outkicked his coverage when he got married. Let's be honest.
Over his skis.
Over his skis for sure. Breaking ball. Now, in comparison to you,
Oh, stop.
I mean, you're a good-looking guy.
Yeah, but come on, be nice.
I don't have that in me.
Yeah, you do.
B-0-1. Line drive. Jeter snares it. 2 away.
Nice hot smash here. Derek Jeter getting a quick little jump, not too far he had to go. Unlike the last one where he was biting the sun, this was just a matter of timing. Good grab. All-around player. Might be one of his best years, maybe. As it plays out defensively, offensively.
There's a strike. Aceves has retired all 5 that he's faced. Came in the 4th inning. Jabba Chamberlain with an abbreviated start by design. Went 3 innings. Andy 0-1. 1-1.
Well, if you allowed Aceves to kind of just stretch it out, almost as Godin did yesterday after Sergio Mitre got hit in the elbow. You know, the role that Aceves has meant to this bullpen. Every aspect of it, long, middle, setup. So important to have an arm or two like Aceves down in any bullpen where you can use him in any role, whether it was a 2 or 3 inning, 4 inning appearance, right down to getting a key right-handed out. Try to get on the same page here with Posada. Shook a couple times. Anytime there's multiple shakes, you'll see most hitters step out, try to get their mental concentration back.
Popped up. Alex Rodriguez. 1-2-3 inning on just 8 pitches for Alfredo Aceves. We're halfway through. Yankees leading 3-2. It's just been a day at the park. I can't say beach because there's concrete there. Yankee Stadium in the foreground where the Yankees lead 3-2. This is brought to you in part by J&R Music and Computer World, and by Ford, the official truck of the New York Yankees. There's my burrow, Al. There's my burrow, the Bronx.
Yeah. Bronx. How far did you grow from here?
About 10 minutes.
Was that 8 miles or?
I didn't mark it off, Al. No, I'd say
Testy, aren't you?
10 miles, maybe.
Getting on Cooney, not me.
Lexus scoreboard, 3-2, Yankees lead. Well, let's see. I grew up right near the Hunts Point area. And you get on the Deegan, and you're on the Deegan for about 3 minutes. It might be less than 8 miles. Eric Hinsky hits one deep to left. Quinton stumbles but recovers to make the play. One away.
This is a tough position at left field here at the stadium, the way the sun is coming out from the first base dugout side. Stumbled a little bit, trying to get on track. He had a plantar fasciitis injury that cost him maybe the MVP of the American League last year. Had a heck of a year for the White Sox. Injured early in the year. Yeah, he stumbled on some of that wet grass, I guess.
There's a strike to Melky Cabrera. That's what the left fielder is looking at. Not much clouds to obscure the sun.
I think with Brett Gardner coming back will also be a good reprieve for Melky. He's played nearly every day. He was given a day off yesterday, just trying to get some rest to get some strength back. And hitting coaches, managers, they could see that, you were talking about sound with the pop of the bat of Alex Rodriguez or Matsui. You see a guy play every day, and it just doesn't have the same snap of the wrist and the ball jumping off the bat. Usually just a day here or there will help a guy. Gardner's close coming back, right, Mike?
Well, they said that his wrist is still bothering him on swings, and they'd like to get him some at bats in a minor league game, but the minor leagues will end their play on September 8th, so they're hoping that he gets those at bats there. 2 away. I did ask Joe, and you'll hear a lot of this on WB Mason Presents the Joe Girardi Show a little later on, but if they don't get him back swinging, then they would use him, because the rosters are expanded, just to pinch run. That's how valuable he is with his legs.
And because he was part of the DL roster prior to August 31st, he would be eligible as a postseason roster guy.
However they want to maneuver the roster. Here's Derek Jeter. He's 2 for 2 with 2 runs scored. And a lot of sentiment about that. I'd say the battle is between Jeter, Teixeira, and Joe Mauer. Others having good seasons, but those 3 have to be up there. 1-1.
Yeah, Mauer, 371, lead in American League. Batting average. Morneau's up there with Teixeira, second RBI.
That's where Jeter ranks. And Morneau beat out Jeter the last time that Jeter had a really outstanding year, beat him out for the MVP. A lot of people thought that Jeter should win that year. Jabba started for the Yankees, lasted 3 innings, threw 35 pitches, 4 hits, 2 runs. He will not get a decision in this game. (3-1), 3-2. Along with Al Leiter, I'm Michael Kay, and you're watching Yankees baseball right here on the Yankee Entertainment and Sports Network. And we thank you for spending part of your Sunday afternoon with us. Every time you turn on the Yes Network, we really do appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the game. 3-2. Fouled away. I love the blimp shot. Yeah. Kind of like the shot you'd have from heaven. Maybe you're sitting on a cloud. Is that too emotional for you, Al?
No, I like the blimp shot. I didn't get the whole heaven part, but I could see that a little bit.
Aerial coverage brought to you by DirecTV. Get every MLB game in HD this season with DirecTV.
It's a big event, too. The blimp going around, all these big sporting events. You see it. Aerial, clear, beautiful day, summer day. It doesn't get better than this.
And the 3-2. Grounded to third. Beckham gets Jeter in a 1-2-3 inning for Freddie Garcia, who's not doing a bad job. He made that one mistake to Johnny Damon. That's the difference in the game, that 2-run home run, giving the Yankees a 3-2 lead as we go to the 6th. People who bring us our office supplies. WB Mason, who bought?
Who bought?
Who bought? Let's go to the 6th inning, Al. It's 3-2 Yankees. Each team with 4 hits. And the top of the order against Alfredo Aceves, who's thrown 17 pitches and retired all 6 batters he's faced. Pitch upstairs, 1-0.
Good scrappy player, Scott Sednick. Good runner. A few years ago, 70+ stolen bases. An element of this offense that has really struggled inconsistent-wise is that they've been base to base. The guys that Tomey and Dye and Konerko, Quentin, you guys that taken a couple hits to get around for to score. They've had some moments that haven't been able to get them enough runs. Obviously, it's good to see there too. The pitchers been more of a hanging out in the dugout this year.
A lot of the veteran pitchers from the last couple of years, they weren't pitching. They were never on the bench, and that's something that teammates, they notice.
I've noticed that a lot, and I think it's great that they're normally the 4 guys that, I don't see CC, but they're always out there. Let's face it, the guys that are on the field, they're playing for you every day. It looks good for them to look in and see that their players are there watching and into the game.
I mean, when Roger Clemens was here, Roger was not on the bench every day, and Mike Messina was not on the bench every day. When they weren't starting, they were in the clubhouse, and they monitor the game on TV and they do their work. And Randy Johnson when he was here. I mean, veterans that are set in their ways. He was not watching the team play when he wasn't pitching. He just wasn't. And he's different. He's always been a guy who sits on the bench and watches the game. And I think the players take note of that. You see A.J. Burnett's always there. CC Sabathia is always there. Jabba pitched and he's come out. He doesn't have to. He could be icing down inside. Knocked down on the backhand by Aceves. And he fires to first, not in time. Boy, that was some play to knock that down. So a base hit for Posednik, his third of the day. And now Steve Donahue and Joe Girardi are going to check out Aceves. See where it got him. And it got him on the back of the left arm.
Well, left, that's good. It had to hit him square. Left arm or back of hip for it. The ball that dropped directly down had the presence of mind to pick it up quickly. Posednik as good a speed as he had, but that was close. Let's just back left tricep, it looked like. Making it a close play.
Tricep of the left arm. What I want to know, Al, and I'm not being facetious here or joking around, why are they having him throw? I mean, it's his left arm.
Yeah. Well, you know, maybe if it's more than just a flesh kind of injury, you know, if there's something structurally wrong, you still need your front side when you throw the baseball. So you want to make sure that there isn't anything aching or painful enough to where it's going to alter the way what you do on the front side to throw the ball. Got a little welt, I'm sure.
A runner on first. Posednik obviously a threat to steal.
You know, another part of we're talking about the Yankee pitchers, and I think if you pitched in the National League, you just are inclined to be on the bench because there's always that small chance either they have you either bunt or you know, in some cases even pinch run, and you're into the game more. You know, pitchers that don't play or aren't pitching that day, a lot of guys will wear spikes because there's just always that emergency kind of aspect. You have like lifers like Mussina or somebody's been in the American League where it's just all about just pitching your day. You know, that becomes the routine. If you have a manager that's okay with it, you watch 3 or 4 innings in the dugout. You go up in the clubhouse for 3 or 4, watch on TV. I like the fact, and also the camaraderie where they're talking pitching, talking game.
I had a lot of the players tell me they didn't like the fact that the pitchers were out there. They said, you know, these guys will be all rah-rah when it's their day to pitch. Come on, guys, let's go. But they're not there to rah-rah everybody else when somebody else is pitching. It bothered them. Yeah. It really did.
Well, I agree with them. And I think if nothing worse is when your players are looking in the dugout, nobody's in there, and they're out there busting it.
That one's chopped to A-Rod. Let's see if they turn 2. There's one. On the first. Hits a double play. Beautifully turned. Around the horn. 5-4-3.
Well, the long way around. This is the hardest double play as far as the throws are concerned. Alex Rodriguez getting an in-between hop. Nice, and then it's all a matter of planting his feet. And Robbie Cano, the quickness of his transfer and a stronger throw, the way he throws that ball, usually pushing away. Aceves excited about that. Any double play is a pitcher's best friend. There it is. And a decent runner there in Beckham. Strong throw. Nice play.
Brzezinski fouls it off.
nice change-ups back to back from Savas. Throw it again. See a hitter fooled. AJ Brzezinski having a good year for the White Sox, just out front. 2 in a row. Almost loses the bat there. Top hand coming off of it.
Grounded in the hole, backhanded by Jeter. The jump pass to first. Not in time as Brzezinski beats it out.
You know, Jeter does that so often. There's another changeup went to the well, didn't hit it very hard, just past Alex Rodriguez. You know, if the runner is slow enough where you think you can plant, and even though Derek has done that so often in his career, ideally, there's a jump man there running across the diamond. Would have been a tough play. Good effort.
And there's a jump man on his shoes. The Jordan brand. Joe Girardi was asked today on the Joe Girardi show his favorite non-baseball playing athlete of all time. He said it was Michael Jordan. He said, I just think he was the greatest athlete who ever lived. He said, I watched him when I lived in Chicago. I'd go to games with my wife. He says it's just phenomenal. His the ability to bring everybody up with him, and his desire never waned.
Championships?
Yeah, 6 of them. The 1-0.
Well, you mentioned that about Joe Girardi. How many players can solely carry a sport the way Michael Jordan did?
Babe Ruth did. And Tiger Woods does.
Oh, Tiger Woods, yeah. Even before that, you got Magic and Bird. I mean, it was still a duo.
Savas is dealing. He really pitches out there, Al. He doesn't have overpowering, filthy electric stuff, but he pitches.
All 4 pitches, you're exactly right. Change up, excellent. He throws a little slider now. You see a big curveball there to Quinton. Spots his fastball. He is a true pitcher. Every sense of it.
Off the fist. Fly ball to left. And Johnny Damon puts it away for the final out of the 6th inning. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. Let's take this baby to the bottom of the 6th. 3-2 Yankees. Audi, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Yankees. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning, and it's going to be Damon Teixeira and Alex Rodriguez. 3-4-0 for the Yankees, 2-6-0 for the White Sox. 3 innings by Jabba Chamberlain, 3 scoreless innings by Alfredo Aceves. And the pitch outside, 1-0. Damon with a home run his last time up into the second deck in right. That gave the Yankees a 3-2 lead. And Damon, a career high 24 home runs. He's tied with a previous high, so one more, and that's more than he's ever hit in the season. Still has a month to go.
Coming at a good time for him. Free agent off season for him potentially. Yankees have to make a decision on what they would do with him.
Marte beginning to throw. They're going to make a decision on Damon, and Matsui is also going to be a free agent. The 2-1. Hot shot to second, knocked down by Nix. 1 out. Time for another look at today's Toyota text poll. Once again, the question: who do you think is going to win the American League Rookie of the Year? You've been texting us at 58772, and here are the results. Elvis Andrus impressed a lot of people with that 3-game set here at the stadium. Gordon Beckham is second, and Ricky Romero third. Yankees will see Nolan Reimold starting tomorrow in Baltimore. There's a strike to Mark Teixeira. Mark has 98 ribbies with a sac fly in the first inning. Count 2-0. Randy Williams, one of the 2 left-handers for Guillen, warming.
So White Sox, their strength, second in the American League in ERA has been their bullpen. Randy Williams got hit around the first game of this series. And Matt Thornton, the 2 lefty combination, has been real strong for Ozzie Guillen and the White Sox.
And Teixeira strikes out for the second out of the 6th. Freddie Garcia comes in with a 6.75 ERA. He's pitching better than that. And throughout his career, he's loved pitching in the day. 48-17 in day games, 3.65. Night games, he's 70-61 with a 4.32 ERA. One and 0. Started out in Met spring training and just didn't have it. The shoulder wasn't bouncing back, and agreed to be sent down, and then they finally released him. But he's pitching a lot better. I mean, he throws 90 miles an hour. Yeah. Like that pitch out, he can get people out. He knows how to pitch.
There's no doubt about it. And today, Michael, we've seen some good changeups and combinations of his breaking ball. And that's the thing. When you get older, you realize, okay, if the velocity's not there as it once was when he was with the Mariners throwing in that mid-90 range, he can still pitch. You know, 2-0 slider, Alex Rodriguez. You know, these are the moments where you end up having to pitch backwards as a result of the velocity not being where it once was. Doesn't mean you can't pitch in the big leagues. Of course you can. Think about Mike Mussina, what he did first time ever, 20-game win last year of his career. He didn't throw very hard.
I always wondered this, Al, though. Like Mike Mussina always pitched that way. I mean, he might have had more stuff, but he always pitched that way. Freddie Garcia was, you know, here, hitting. I mean, his stuff, he had a heavy sinker. Yeah, his stuff is good enough to get people out, but in his mind, is he still that guy who could blow it by you? And is it hard to adjust? I mean, we see pitchers have a difficult time with it.
Yeah. Well, it is hard to adjust if you never had any kind of all-speed pitch. There are guys that are just grunt, throw it as hard as you can kind of mentality, and when that drops off, then they're in trouble. You know, so long as you maintain some sort of other off-speed pitch, 2 or 3 other off-speed pitches. You mentioned about Mussina. Mussina, earlier in his career, he would touch in the low 90s, maybe even hit some 93, 94s. Talked to Jimmy Key, seen him up at the Blue Jays had a reunion, and he was a guy that early on when I played with him in Toronto, I said, to watch Jimmy, and I know he had a couple of great years here with the Yankees. Their first year they won the World Series during the run. And I said, how long have you been pitching? And I was at the time what you were just describing, just a thrower. And he said, since high school, since as long as I can remember. To your point, he's always had to pitch, change his speeds, using his changeups, throwing backwards in the count.
So few pitchers make the transition from, as Al would say, blunt and throw it. One guy that stands out in my mind who had terrible shoulder problems, Frank Tanana. I mean, when Frank Tanana and Nolan Ryan would pitch for the Angels, nobody wanted to go in because they'd start the games at 5 o'clock in the twilight. It was awful. And then he blew his arm out, and he became a different pitcher. He reinvented himself. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, changing speed, big curveball.
Great curveball, Michael.
He was a genius at reinventing himself. And it's not easy to do. A lot of pitchers can't do it. If big, hard throwers blow out their arm, they usually don't come back.
I think of, and I don't know when it fell for him, but as great a career as he did have, with Hall of Famer Steve Carlton.
Right.
Once he lost it, I remember he bounced around a few teams, Minnesota, Cleveland, a couple others. And, he wasn't able to kind of bring up that third pitch. Same thing with Dave Riggett. When Rags lost his velocity, he was fastball slider. It's hard to come up with a curveball or introduce a changeup.
2-1.
But I think today, too, Michael, with pitchers, even just at the Little League level and, having friends that have got people in high school or, pony ball, kids pitch better. They do early on. They're pitchers. I don't know when you played Little League, but when you got the kid who threw the hardest, and if you had a little wrinkle, that it was your pitcher. Now these kids are throwing changeups and two-seamers and cutters and
3-1. But do you really want that out? Do you want kids to be pitching like? Shouldn't they just be throwing as hard as they could and building up their arm strength?
Well, especially in high school, it disturbs me to a point when I know that there's high school coaches that call every pitch and taking the whole fun out of pitching for kids to learn how to set up hitters. And what's the reaction of a swing like that from Matsui on a 3-1 breaking ball? Do you come back with another one? You try to paint a fastball away. What's he doing with his front hip? All of the nuance of what really I thought was fun about pitching. And now at lower levels, these coaches, they call every pitch. That's not fun. You're a robot.
You're also not going to develop catchers that way. Runner goes. 3-2 is grounded to second. Nick's right there. And that'll do it here in the 6th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and one man left on base. We played 6 at the stadium, and the Yankees are leading the White Sox 3-2. legend in the city of New York. Wednesday night, the Emmy-winning series Yankeeography profiles the architect of the modern Yankees dynasty, the boss, George Steinbrenner. Don't miss this special 90-minute premiere with limited commercial interruption, brought to you by Chevy and Bigelow Tea. Wednesday night at 11, only on Yes. Well, we go to the 7th inning here on a beautiful Sunday in New York City. The Yankees are leading the White Sox 3-2. And Damaso Marte comes in. Alfredo Aceves did a very good job. 3 scoreless innings, 2 hits, no runs. And Marte will face Tomei.
Boy, what a job Aceves did. 3 innings. 11th appearance this year that he threw a shutout ball for 2 innings or more. Solid effort.
A 1-1. Good breaking ball for strike 1 and 2. Boy, if they could get Marte clicking, well, then they've got a formidable 2 left-handed threat in the bullpen. David Robertson warming for the Yanks, Koch and Marte, and then you don't have to save that bullet for just the proper time as Tomei grounds out to Cano.
Boy, you said it, Michael. There's so many managers. I know I played with Jim Leyland, and he was adamant about wanting and needing 2 left-handers and use them, even if there was one that was significantly or not as good as the first left-hander, his #1 go-to guy, as you say. If you only have that one left, and I don't care, they'll say, well, right-handers have great batting average against a certain left-hander. Talk to a left-handed batter and say, would you rather face this left-handed pitcher or right-handed pitcher who has got good numbers? And say, no way. Lefty on lefty is difficult.
Well, Joe Girardi brought him in just to get Tomei. Now he's going to go to Robertson with Dye coming up. And that's what he wants to see out of Marte. In the playoff series, come in, get the big left-hander. Maybe it'd be David Ortiz, somebody else, and one of the teams that the Yankees might play. So Marte does his job. Now Robertson comes on and will try to do his. Yankees holding on to a 3-2 lead.
And now you never have to miss a game again with live Yes Network games on your PCs and laptops. If you're an Optimum Online and IOTV customer who watches Yes, go to yesnetwork.com to get more information and sign up for your subscription now. It's good stuff, that online stuff.
David Robertson, the Yankees' 4th pitcher. And he will face Jermaine Dodd. There's a strike.
Look at the job you were talking about. Look at the 55 strikeouts in the 37 innings. That's domination. I don't care what level here in the major leagues. David Robertson has done an excellent job for the Yankees. Good, firm fastball, 94-mile-an-hour, and a great curveball. Struck out at least one batter in 17 of his last 18 appearances.
Now he strikes out another batter. So it's 18 of his last 19 appearances. Al, if you want to update that.
You just did. That's just good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Just by Dye, who's been struggling since the All-Star break. Smooth delivery, really like David Robertson. Comes out of his hand nicely, explosion.
Here's Mark Kotsay. And a strike.
Smooth, easy cheese right there.
Phil Hughes getting set to pitch the 8th inning. As Al said, an easy 94. Doesn't even look as if he's laboring. He's certainly not grunting out there. It just explodes out of his hand. And he has that good breaking ball as well, which he threw right there, and it was fouled off.
Here's a 12-6er on the hand of a clock straight down. Kotsay just fighting it off. That combination of an explosive fastball, big curveball has given him that innings to strikeout ratio. Drafted in the 17th round in 2006 at the University of Alabama. They're ranked all-time career leader in strikeouts, appearances, saves.
One-two pitch, line drive, a base hit to left center field off the bat of Kotsay, his first hit of the afternoon. So a 2-out single, tying runs on base.
Kotsay just realized that explosive fastball. You see, makes contact. It almost just purposely flicks that ball to left field. A lot of times, if a batter knows there's kind of an overmatched velocity-wise, instead of pulling off, and Robertson just stayed away primarily, except for the one curveball. Good hitting there from Mark Kotsay.
Ramirez has scored one of the 2 White Sox runs. That was in the 3rd inning.
Good fastball hitter here, Alexi Ramirez. Starting him off with curveball, now fastball. Let's see if Robertson and Posada go with the behind the count breaking ball.
A line drive to left field, a base hit. So that moves the tying run into scoring position. 2 straight 2-out singles. And Phil Hughes
He got the fastball inside corner, pulling it in, pulling his hands in enough. But Rivera's scout report wise, just a fastball hitting type batter. Doesn't allow too many heaters go by him. Most American League pitchers will throw a lot of big dose of breaking balls.
Now a little bit of a stall tactic here to give Hughes more time to throw.
There's the hat from Harkey, bullpen coach, alerting the bench that he's ready.
And that's it. He does not want to take any chances. Wants to bring in the guy that is going to throw 95 or 96 to replace the guy who throws 94. So Phil Hughes will come on to try to get Jason Nix. And the big right-hander who worked a 1-2-3 inning in the 8th on Friday, striking out all 3 White Sox, jogs in as Robertson jogs out. Don't miss an all-new WB Mason presents The Joe Girardi Show to get the skipper's preview of next week's American League East matchups. And after that, catch Yankees on deck to see A-Rod and Jabba rock out to Guitar Hero. It all starts today after the postgame, only on Yes.
It's a great show, that Yankees on deck.
You're on it, right? Phil Hughes in relief. This is his 30th game. Look at the numbers. Startling. 22 hits and 10 walks, so 32 base runners in 36 and 2/3 innings, so a whip under 1 and 48 strikeouts.
Attack mode mentality of any good reliever, and certainly Phil Hughes has done that since going to the bullpen.
Opponents are 2 for 30 against Hughes with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. That's 067. 1-2.
2 feeble hacks, but the fastball down the way. Toughest spot for any hitter. Safe spot is that down the way. But right now, Nix is just showing that he's not seeing them picking up that ball. So he needs to see if they just continue to attack that down the way zone.
And the 1-2. Just outside with 95.
Well, he's going down and away. Just missing 3, 4, 5 inches. Oh, this would be a good shot here. No more than that.
First and second, 2 outs, 2-2 count. Houston Nicks. And now that gives the base runners an advantage. They'll go on 3-2 with 2 outs.
Never like to go to 3-2, obviously with 2 outs, because any base hit to the outfield, potentially with the speed of a Ramirez, could score, depending upon where in the gap. Teixeira playing way behind. Base runners will be able to get a good running start.
Nick's 20 hits in his last 81 at bats. And the 3-2. Popped up, shallow right, coming on Hinsky. He makes the play for the final out of the 7th inning. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base after 6.5 innings of play. Time for the 7th inning stretch as the Yankees lead the White Sox 3-2, but we will stay right here and honor America in the Bronx.
We remember the servicemen and women who are serving our country at home and around the globe.
Are leading 3-2. Big crowd here at the ballpark, 46,664. The White Sox about hit the Yankees 2-1, 8 hits to 4. But the Yankees, on the strength of the 2-run home run by Johnny Damon, that was in the 3rd inning, have a 3-2 lead as Joe Girardi's trying to massage the bullpen right through the end of this game. So he uses Phil Hughes to get the final out of the top of the 7th. Randy Williams comes on. This is his 14th game. 10 hits. Oh, check that, 10 innings and 8 hits.
That's 7 walks there, Michael. Not good. Almost a walk an inning. Got hit around here in the first game of the series.
And Posada greets him with a single center field.
Well, Posada getting a fastball right down the middle. Not trying to do a whole lot with it. As a pitcher, you're coming in to establish strikes. Good little bat there. Good feeling for Posada.
Well, the last time that Robinson Cano faced Randy Williams, he connected for a 3-run home run in the 10th inning on Friday to give the Yankees a 5-2 victory. And Brzezinski will go out and talk with Williams.
There's that walk-off home run, first of his career, 12th for the Yankees this year. Walk-off, so exciting, getting that helmet and the pie.
Got line break warming up. There's a strike.
Thinking about all those walk-off wins the Yankees have had this year, and I think of one when Matsui had the walk-off, the big smile, and it's such a moment for an amazing baseball player that for the 5 minutes, a few minutes of just feeling like you're 12 again. It's exciting, even if you're not the guy who hit it or the one who scored. Just as a team, it's just that exhilarating pop out of the dugout. Such a unifier, and the Yankees have done it so often. I think it absolutely can only help them as this season goes along, and assuming they get into the playoffs.
You know, Al, they've done it so often, I think they expect it. Soft ground ball to second. Let's see if they can turn 2. There's one on to first. Not in time. Cano beat it out.
Well, Cano realized he gets jammed here by Williams, busted inside. He's got a bust now, Cano, making sure stay out of that double play. Kotze by trade is an outfielder. Let's see what kind of stretch he gave here to shorten that throw from Ramirez.
Oh, they had him. He was out.
He did have him. Probably get through, run through the bag. I think they got a call there.
Well, Kotze didn't argue. Hinsky shows bunt, takes a pitch inside. Hey, you know, yesterday we were debating about Jeter bunting in the 2nd inning when the Yankees scored the 4 runs. They had already scored 2, and I said I don't ever want Derek Jeter sacrificing. I talked to Joe Girardi about it, and he said it wasn't a sacrifice. He said Derek was bunting for him. He said he knows that Contreras is not a good fielder. Thought he could load the bases that way, and worst case scenario, the runners would move up into scoring position. I said, well, would you have a problem if it was a sacrifice? He said, I don't think it. He says he's just moving the runners up. He said, I don't mind that he does that. And I explained to him that I felt, you know, the way Derek's hitting, I want him to drive the ball into the gap. He's hitting so great. He said, well, Joe said this to me. He said, well, you hate the bunt. You always have. And you know what, Al? I definitely hate the bunt in this ballpark. I mean, anybody can hit the ball out, especially the Yankee offense. That they've got power in any kind of ballpark. This ballpark especially. I would never give up an out, ever. They turned Hinsky loose on 3-0.
See, that is your American League mentality.
And you know what? And that's what I've been around my whole life, is the American League.
And I think had I not experienced the however many years, 10 years in the National League, I probably would side with you as well. There is a divide there. I just think it's great to see a guy like Derek Jeter, the year he's having, to have so many different dimensions. And whether he was, trying to bunt, he didn't square, so there was some element of not giving himself up yesterday. But I like to see the Yankees have different ways in which they can score and not just wait for the 3-run homer or having that big inning. And they've done that this year. They've shown an assortment of ways of scoring, and that's winning baseball.
Joe did emphasize that. I didn't call for sac bunt. He said it, and Derek wasn't sacrificing. He said he was bunting for a hit, so that explained it a little bit. I understand that more than sacrificing, but it certainly looked like a sacrifice because he said it wasn't a great bunt. Joe said he bunted it back to the pitcher, but he said it wasn't a called sacrifice. He said, and even if it was, I wouldn't have had a big problem with it. So to each his own. And Joe has a National League background. He came up with the Cubs.
Managed with the Marlins.
There's Melky Cabrera. Melky Cabrera was part of a Q&A in the Post today with Steve Serby, and he was asked people he'd want as dinner guests, if he could have a perfect dinner guest situation. And he said Joe Girardi, Robinson Cano, Michael Jordan, and George Steinbrenner.
Really? Well, let's see. He could have two of the four for sure.
Well, he could have Cano and Girardi, and I'm sure he can get George Steinbrenner with dinner if he wanted to, when they're in Tampa. Jordan, I don't know. I don't like his chances. Or he could go through Jeter. Also in that story, it shows, you look at these players and they're New York Yankees and you think they're on top of the world. Melky Cabrera grew up in abject poverty. And when he was a kid, he played baseball with a rock. They couldn't afford a baseball. Played with a rock, and here he is. He's made it to be the center fielder for the New York Yankees. That's pretty heady stuff. The 2-1. Drill deep to left field. Fair ball, it's trouble. It's off the wall, fair. Cano will score. Hinsky will move to third. It is a bullet RBI double by Melky Cabrera, who also plays umpire, signals safe as the Yankees have a 4-2 lead. What a laser out to left field, and he missed a home run by a couple of feet.
Well, he got the day off yesterday just trying to energize that bat speed, and he showed it right there with that hanging. Looked like a little cutter. Watching that ball perhaps a little too long made this play a little closer than it should have been. Held the umpire safe. Fired that ball. Had some hang time hitting off the wall about 3 or 4 feet from being a home run down the left field line. Second double of the year, 49th RBI.
They're going to intentionally walk Jeter now to load the bases and deal with Damon. And Damon is not going to hit. You wonder if Johnny's okay as they send up Jerry Hairston Jr. to pinch hit for Johnny Damon. Now the RBI for Melky Cabrera, his 49th of the year. 22 of his 49 ribbies have come in the 7th inning or later. So Jeter intentionally walked to load the bases, and we'll have to check to see what's up with Damon. He certainly is not neutralized by left-handers, but Kimberly Jones on our WB Mason postgame will certainly find out what the story is. Now Ozzie Guillen is going to call on the right-hander after Hairston has been announced. So a little mixing and matching as Guillen, whose team is struggling offensively, wants to hold it right here at 4-2. So Randy Williams departs, and he leaves the bases loaded with just 1 out. Jerry Hairston Jr. due up. Stay here. By Avis, the official rental car company of the New York Yankees, and by Burger King, who reminds you to have it your way. Well, the new pitcher is Scott Linebrink. Good numbers for Linebrink, a strikeout per inning. And he is going to face Jerry Hairston Jr., who is pinch hitting for Johnny Damon. Hinsky's at third, Cabrera at second. Jeter intentionally walked his at first.
Jerry Hairston Jr. only 2 at bats. Lifetime against Linebrink, 1 for 2.
Has 2 homers and 4 ribbies, a .400 batting average so far here at Yankee Stadium. He's 1 for 8 as a pinch hitter this season. Linebrink blowing away, 1-0. Right in on the hands, and the count 1-1.
Well, this situation here, the cat and out scenario, Linebrink trying to get something for him to dive down in the zone to get a ground ball, get out of it with a double play ball. And conversely, Hairston is looking for a ball elevated so that he can at least get enough of a fly ball to get a sacrifice fly or better.
Talking with the trainer, Steve Donahue. Wonder if that's about Johnny Damon. That one is drilled to left field. Carlos Quentin makes the catch. Tagging is Hinsky. The throw is cut off. It's a sac line drive for Jerry Hairston Jr. And the Yankees get another run. They're up 5-2.
Well, Scott Linebrink just came after Jerry Hairston Jr. He got the fastball elevated enough. This was a line drive quickly out to Quentin. Even though Hinsky not being the fastest runner on the Yankees, Quentin not having enough on the throw to even be closer. The middle of the plate, good approach, knowing that this is what he's trying to do, to drive the ball to the outfield. Sac fly, extend the Yankee lead, up 5-2.
Teixeira takes a strike. 2 runners on with 2 outs. Yankees have gone to 5-2, entering the inning 3-2. Grounded foul. And the 1-2. High drive, right field. Dive back, track, wall. See ya! A 3-run home run for Mark Teixeira. He now has 101 runs batted in, and the Yankees have an 8-2 lead.
Well, Teixeira getting this breaking ball outside corner, ended up being middle of the plate. It's just a matter of, was it enough? Linebrink attacked him with the fastballs. With the breaking ball up in the zone, able to get the barrel out in front and hook this ball to right field. Look at his eyes just light up. That's a hanger. in the context of deep in the count.
You're right, Al. His eyes really did widen. He recognized that pitch right away. 32 home runs, a 4 RBI day, 101 ribbies on the season. Watch these eyeballs. Identify. Oh, I'm going to hit this. Whoa.
Look at the glove. They want to go backdoor break a ball. Obviously now a dangerous pitch in hindsight. Easier ball to pull as a left-hander here at the stadium.
I'll tell you what, Al, I don't know, unless it's the nastiest breaking ball you could throw, why you would throw a breaking ball to a lefty batter here at this ballpark. And you see Teixeira leads the American League with 101 ribbies. That's what Johnny Damon hits his home runs on.
Well, it's an easy ball for a left-hander to catch it in front, even if you're fooled.
As A-Rod goes down swinging, but the Yankees break this baby open. They score 5 runs to take an 8-2 lead. And the big blow, a 3-run home run by Mark Teixeira. He's over the century mark for ribbies, and the Yankees have a 6-run lead. The 8th inning, get the Land Rover drive of the game.
Land Rover drive of the game. Well, we just saw it. 3-run homer by Mark Teixeira. Ended up getting his 100 RBI. Just a matter of him getting it up in that right field deck as he did. What a year for Mark Teixeira.
6 years in a row now for Teixeira with over 30 home runs and 100 runs batted in. Only one other player, Albert Pujols.
Good company to have, huh? Sir Albert.
Ground ball to second, bobbled there by Cano. He recovers and Pasetnik's out. Celebrate the inaugural season of Yankee Stadium on Saturday, September 12th, when the Yankees take on the Orioles. The first 18,000 fans in attendance are going to receive a Yankees luggage tag, courtesy of Stone Mountain Accessories. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window. Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. The information on Johnny Damon, he left the game with cramping in both calves. And that's something that he had coming out of spring training a couple of years ago. So they want to get him out of the game before it becomes a problem. The 0-1 popped up. A-Rod, 2 outs.
Cramping, right? A product of being dehydrated?
Usually. Today and throughout the Yankee season on Yes, We're allowing you to vote along with the two of us here in the booth for the Chevy Player of the Game. You can text your vote to 58772. Today's candidates are number 1, Alfredo Aceves, number 2, Johnny Damon, number 3, Derek Jeter, number 4, Mark Teixeira. Vote now. Make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply. Here's A.J. Przinsky. And a strike from Phil Hughes. And the 0-1. Nubbed in front of the plate. Grabbed in fair territory by Posada. Nice play. And he guns down Przinsky for the final out of a 1-2-3 inning. And Phil Hughes did it with just 6 pitches. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Yankees lead the White Sox 8-2. Out like a cat is Posada.
Robinson Cano getting the double play. That is your Geico play of the game.
Linebrink deals low to Matsui, the only Yankee that didn't come to the plate in their 8th inning when they scored 5 runs. It's 8-2 Yankees. Now, I want to run this by you, Al, and you'll probably disagree. This White Sox team has no energy. I'm not going to say that it's quit, but it doesn't look like it's fired up at all. After they fell behind 8-2, what they do in the 8th inning, they go down on 6 pitches, not even working the count. And it hasn't seemed like a team with any life for this entire 3-game set.
You know, and then you could go into bad base running, some errors. They lead the American League. You know, overall, I agree. I think this is a team that is absolutely teetering on the possibility of their season being lost here. They were close all along with the Tigers. They're falling back.
Positioned perfectly was Ramirez, and he'll get Matsui, as Matsui is 0 for 4.
You know, and part of that too, offensively they've struggled, and you know, aside from their top 3, Burley struggled a bit. He had a good game here Friday night. You got Danks and also Gavin Floyd, and then Phil Coke warming up the Yankee bullpen. But when you have offense that just struggles, it really brings down the clubhouse, and everybody's trying to pretend that they're up trying to be positive. Greg Walker, the hitting coach, I'm trying to, talk to him about he's trying to keep these guys positive. But, then it comes to a point, as you say, then there's a lethargic look to, hey, what's going on here? Because this team, obviously, the White Sox thought they're still in it. You don't go out and get Jake Peavy.
That one is laced to left field. It is a base hit. It gets past Quinton and goes to the wall as Posada picks up a double. And to make matters worse, the Tigers have beaten the Rays today 4-3, so the White Sox will fall further behind. Nice piece of hitting there by Posada.
Staying on the ball, going the other way. That ball running away from Posada. His previous at bat, he also had a nice at bat against Williams. Steady, Jorge Posada. The Yankees, we're just watching some of the hits today. The Yankees, yeah, they get their home runs, but there's a bats that they clearly do so many things well. And hitting the ball where the pitcher throws it. We talk about it often, how many of these Yankee hitters will wait some pitches out, make the pitcher throw a ball that they can drive. Putting pitchers, the pressure's on the pitcher. I mean, if you have a guy that's selective enough, and a handful of guys in the lineup that will make them work to make the quality pitch, it's not easy to do that, to repeat it as a pitcher. Pitchers make mistakes often in every game. Outside of maybe, I watched Greg Maddux for years, and he was a guy with great control, maybe missed location a handful of times during a game.
Bobby Jenks, the closer, has not had anything to close of late, so he's warming.
And you mentioned about the Yankees expected with the 12 walk-off wins, and that is true. I haven't been on a lot of teams where you go down a run or two or even three. It seems so insurmountable. And as well as the Yankee bullpen has played, even if they are down in a situation as they've done often this year.
That one's looped into center field, and Pacetnik can't make the play. Posada advances to third. So a base hit for Cano, his first of the afternoon. After the last out of this Sunday matinee in the Bronx, join Nancy Newman and Kimberly Jones for the WB Mason postgame, and you can get comprehensive highlights and analysis from this game with the White Sox, plus a breakdown of the current Major League standings. It's the WB Mason postgame. It's only on Yes. Pitch to Hinsky's outside. Fouled away. Yankees have scored at least 8 runs in 6 of their last 9 games, so the offense continues to click. And they actually look as if they will survive the first day of the new Jabba rules, where Jabba is not going to pitch a lot of innings, just enough where they parcel it out the remainder of the way, and he'll get to about 150, rather than have him wait 8 days between starts and get out of any kind of rhythm or schedule. But the bullpen's done a good job again. Count 2-2. And this is the last start that Jabba will make without an expanded roster. His next start, which will be in Toronto, it will be September, and the Yankees could expand the roster up to 40. They'll probably bring up 4 or 5 pitchers from the minor league, so they can mix and match over the last 6 innings of a game and make it work that way. And I think that's one of the reasons they went to this. They knew they only had to survive 1 game this start when they had just a limited bullpen or a normal bullpen.
Yeah, the 6-game lead, Michael. That I'm sure has given some comfort in the decision behind this.
Hot shot, grabbed there by Ramirez. Boy, he had him played perfectly, and Eric Hinsky can't believe it. 2 away.
Well, Major League Scouting, it's all about spray charts and where guys hit it, and it's all documented with pitches that are thrown over the years, and as Michael said, perfectly aligned. Alexi Ramirez.
Runners on first and third, 2 outs. Here's Melky Cabrera. RBI double his last time up, and that one is chopped foul. Backhanded by Kotze. Line break deals. 1-1. Melky doesn't want to see the White Sox go away. He's hitting .364 this year against them, including hitting for the cycle. High fly ball left field. Carlos Quinton is there, and he'll put it away for the final out of the 8th inning. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 men left. We go to the 9th for the White Sox. They'll face Phil Coke as they try to make up an 8-2 deficit. The player of the game is voted on by you, the fans, and the 2 of us here in the booth.
Mark Teixeira, 3-run homer in the 7th inning, breaking this game into the 8-2 lead. His 32nd homer of the year, 100 RBIs on the season. His eyes lit up on that hanging curveball. Mark Teixeira, the Chevy player of the game.
Aerial coverage brought to you today by DirecTV. Get every Major League Baseball game in HD this season with DirecTV. We thank the guys in the blimp. Just great shots all day long. Getting a look at this brand new ballpark and how great it looks with so many people in it. So a beautiful Sunday afternoon, highlighted by shots from the sky. So thank you to the DirecTV blimp. New pitcher for the Yankees. It'll be their 6th pitcher used today. Phil Coke. Last pitched on, let's see, Thursday. and he gave up that 3-run home run that broke open the game against the Rangers. So he will face Carlos Clinton. Pitch upstairs, 1-0. Yankees looking to sweep the White Sox. The Yankees looking to go 4-2 on this homestand. So they bounce back from losing 2 of 3 to Texas, the first home loss of a series in 2 months. Rodriguez to Teixeira, 2-1 away, 2 more to go. This Friday, This Week in Football is back, kicking off another season of analysis and commentary from the Yes Network pros. For a first look at the Jets and Giants and a complete preview of the 2009 campaign, don't miss the season premiere of This Week in Football, presented by Geico, Friday night at 11. It's only on Yes. Here's Jim Thome. And there's a strike.
Koch at a team high of 59 games, Michael. Here's a guy, Phil Koch, who was a starter most of his minor league career, has done a really nice job. He's coming up with the big club.
Only became a reliever last year when they brought him up toward the end of the year, so this is his first full season. And I asked Joe Girardi today, do you think he's run into a wall? He says, I don't think so. He said, because we haven't used him that much of late. He said, it seems like he pitches better when we use him more. The 1-1. Probably why they have him in this game right now. Sky high pop-up. Going to be a tough play for Alex Rodriguez, but he makes it. And the Yankees are 1 out away from the sweep. Yankees begin their 7-game road trip with a 3-game set against the Orioles. It begins tomorrow from Camden Yards. Our pregame show is going to be at 6:30. First pitch right around 7:07, 7:08. And the Yankees hit the road. That'll be tomorrow on Yes. And here's Jermaine Dye. Last chance for the White Sox, as they will move on to Minnesota after this game. And the pitch. Driven out into right center field. Melky Cabrera on the run, looking up. See ya! Home run into the Yankee bullpen as Jermaine Dye goes the other way. And the White Sox now trail 8-3. '25th home run for Dye. 72nd Ribby.
Well, he's been struggling, and boy, this is for the White Sox. They need him, that right center field approach, when he is hitting well. It's a big boost, even though I know it looks like a Yankee or White Sox loss here. He's only had 3 hits in his last 33 at bat. His first home run since August 2nd.
Kotze swings and misses. It's hard to celebrate a home run when it just cuts the deficit to 5, and you can see somewhat muted celebration by the White Sox in the dugout. Not much of a smile for Dye.
True, Michael, yeah, but you got to hang your hat on something, and certainly if the White Sox are going to make any kind of push in the Central, they absolutely need Jermaine Dye in the middle of the order. Bad as the start as this road trip has been for the White Sox, he needs something positive going into Minnesota.
Before that home run, he was 3 for his last 36. And now Koch has gone 3-1 on Kotze. And now it's 3-2. After the last out, join Nancy Newman and Kimberly Jones for the WB Mason postgame. Get comprehensive analysis, highlights from this game with the Sox, and everything going on around Major League Baseball. It's the WB Mason postgame, only on Yes. The 3-2. High fly ball, right field. This should do it. Hinske there, and the Yankees win 8-3. The Yankees are 34 games over 500 for the first time since September 27th of 2006. They win this one 8-3. They complete a sweep of the White Sox. Mark Teixeira now has gone